जब तक तुम घर में हो यू आर द किंग.
Absolutely.
एक बार डेवलपर आ गया तो वो किंग. Builders are calling society members to hotels. They're doing a lot of.
A builder in Ahmedabad wanted a footprint in Mumbai. तो उन्होंने फ्लाइट का टिकट बुक किया मुंबई टू अहमदाबाद. अराउंड 100 पीपल में से 80 पीपल वेंट देयर. दे एंजॉयड 2 days स्टे देयर एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ द बिल्डर. More than 5,800 projects are stalled. They are out of the house because the greed is taking over the need.
Does this mean that RERA also gives a lot of protection to the members who have participated in this redevelopment? Welcome to another episode of Zapkey Openhouse. Today we will be discussing a very interesting topic of redevelopment as a subject. Redevelopment has taken the attention of the entire city of Bombay. It's been the talk of the town for the last few years. Every society is discussing about initiating a redevelopment or is in the process of redevelopment. It is a subject which is actually unregulated. There is no body that regulates the subject of redevelopment. There are more than 2,000 societies as we speak, as per media reports, that are undergoing or are at different stages of redevelopment. So to discuss this topic in detail and who's got a lot of expertise around this, we have with us Mr. C.S. Ramesh Prabhu, who's got extensive experience of dealing with this subject. He's also a founder chairman of Mahaseva, which is Maharashtra Societies Welfare Association, which is a body which empowers and guides housing societies to take better decisions. Welcome, Ramesh ji.
Yeah.
And very excited to discuss this topic. As I said, it's a discussion of many societies, how to go about the whole process of redevelopment, right? So would love to, during this discussion, understand various facets of this process. When should a society start discussing redevelopment? How do they evaluate different proposals? What is the precautions that they should take during agreements, during the process of redevelopment, all of this, right? So the stage is yours.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandeep, for inviting me in the Zapkey Openhouse. Now let me tell you, you mentioned about 2,000 projects. Yes. This is about the last maybe 5 to 7 years, which is ongoing as far as BMC is concerned. Now in Maharashtra, it is not the only BMC. So even if you take in Mumbai, we have MADA, which has got more than 3,000 to 3,500. Then we have got a SRA, we have a MMRDA. So many planning authorities are there. When we look at little beyond that, we have Mira Bhayandar, Vasai Municipal Corporation, Navi Mumbai, Panvel, Pune, Nashik. The redevelopment is happening in a big way. So having said that, yes, let us look at, when a person to start redevelopment and when he should think. Naturally, a building which is really not, viable to stay there, it is dangerous, unsafe for, human staying there and dangerous, yes, you should, vacate and go for redevelopment. Now looking at the, the incentives, I would say, which is provided by the government, many of the societies, even if they have not been, dilapidated or if they can be repaired, still they go for the redevelopment. Therefore, government has come out with the guideline that at least a building which is more than 30 years old should be enabled for redevelopment and they can take up redevelopment. Now the most important question is, what is the legal framework? You said yes, there is no regulator as far as selection of the developer is concerned or to monitoring the project is concerned, the way we have in RERA, where the consumers are being empowered. Is the housing societies empowered by the government to do all this process? The answer is no. But is there a legal process, the system? The answer is yes. Because what happens is, when a building becomes not economically viable for repairing, or which is not a good stage, which is not available for staying and more than 30 years old, then they have to verify, is it viable to go for redevelopment. What is redevelopment? Redevelopment is nothing but demolishing the existing building, constructing new building. If you are going to demolish the existing building and constructing the same building, are you able to economically make it viable? The answer is no.
Correct.
So therefore, in the year 1991, when the DCPR was getting enacted of 1991, they said let us make a provision to make double construction, so that the building which are more than 30 years old, 40 years old, they will be able to go for redevelopment. Now how they are enabled? Existing floor space index, FSI that we call, is 1. Based on that 10,000 square foot, they have constructed 10,000 square foot land building. So let us say 500 square foot each flat, that means 20 flats of 500 square foot, 10,000 square foot, 10,000 square foot of the land. Now having done that construction, 1 FSI, now after 30 years, now the building is dilapidated, people have become old. When they were young, they were purchased, now the building is old, people are old, that need repairs.
Revival, yeah.
Repairs people are not able to contribute, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Secondly, if they want to reconstruct, again sinking fund is not there, repair fund is not there, neither they can bring the money in. So the government thought it fit that no, we need to enable this. How can we enable it? We said let us allow the construction of as against 1 square foot, let us allow 2.5. So they allowed us to construct, you demolish the building, construct 2 FSI. That means 1 FSI and one more construct, you construct. Now when you are constructing one more, naturally the government also needs to take out something out of it. So they said, okay, you do one thing, 50%, that is 0.5, we will give it as a premium FSI, where you pay the premium to us. So we will allow you to construct 0.5, which you can use that premium as per the 50% of the ready declared value. That money which comes to the government, 50% will be used by the municipal corporation for the various infrastructure development, another 50% to the state government for their national highway and other infrastructure development. So that way they were getting some money. Another 0.5, they said you buy in the form of TDR. Now the question arises, what is TDR? TDR is nothing but transfer of development right. Now what is this new word TDR? Naturally government said, when we are going for the development of a city, the government also needs lot of land, or the municipal corporation needs a land for playground, for recreation area, maybe garden, maybe hospital, maternity home, maybe police station, railway station, metro station, bus depot, and the road winding. If the government is taking this land, municipal corporation is taking land, you need to pay to the compensation to the landowner. Government does not have the money to pay. Then the government said, yes, what we will do is, we will give you a transfer of development rights certificate. That means what you would have constructed with 1 FSI on 10,000 square foot, you would have constructed 10,000 square foot. We will give you 10,000 square foot certificate. That certificate you will be able to sell in the open market. So that is as good as selling the land. So you are able to encash. Now in order to load this TDR, somebody should be able to buy.
Also,
you have to create a level playing field. So then they said, okay, let us go ahead with the, allowing the societies which are going for redevelopment to buy this half FSI in the form of TDR, half FSI in the form of premium, so that the market is open for TDR also. So there is a originating flat and the government takes the land. Now you will be happy to know that in the recent Development Control and Promotion Regulation 2034, especially Mumbai, if 1 square foot is given to the government, they give 2 square foot of TDR.
Wow.
Which means now the people are ready to offer to the government, हमारा जमीन ले लो ताकि हमको TDR मिलेगा, हम open market में बेच पाएंगे. Now the digitalization have gone to such an extent. Now TDR also is going to be making digitally getting exchange.
Like a stock market.
Absolutely,
Wow,
TDR exchange
great.
has happened. Now people will be able to invest in the TDR. Even 1 square foot of TDR you can buy, 2 square foot of TDR you can buy, and it will
can be traded.
Absolutely.
Because you can say that this TDR I will buy
Yes.
and I will sell later because
Absolutely.
because it can go up in price.
See,
Very interesting.
See what happens, everybody is looking at real estate as a marketplace where you want to invest. But when you invest, there is a stamp duty, there is a registration, there is the promoters whether paying or not paying. But real estate land also buying, lot of issues. But TDR buying is as good as land buying,
Correct.
but in units.
And
It is a tradable.
correct tradable instrument.
So that is where we are coming in. So coming to the point, this is how a redevelopment has been made economically viable.
Viable. You created a system wherein you incentivized housing societies to consider this, because if they had to do 1:1 conversion, it would not be viable. So you said you can make more, but for that you have to pay and you have to also buy TDR. They created a supply of TDR. So it's over a gradual period of
Over a period of last
time
30
where
years.
this whole ecosystem is now well positioned.
Absolutely.
And I think that is exactly why in the last 5 years post COVID it is just
Picking up.
picking up massively.
Now I'll tell you why you said post-COVID it is picking up. The reason is 2020. December 2020 is the area where unified DCPR for entire Maharashtra has been enacted, where the redevelopment which was not having that enabling provision has now been made available.
Understood.
So in the unified DCPR 2020, whereas in Mumbai, suburb was enabled in the year 1991, which actually got implemented in 1994 up to 2014. But in 2014, when the new DCPR was getting enacted, Development Control and Promotion Regulation for Mumbai, which is called DCPR 2034, there they allowed that redevelopment happening in South Mumbai, suburb, MADA, SRA, cess building, tenanted building, collector land, BMC land, you name the things, this was happening. Therefore, the redevelopment has become lot of incentives. Now how it works? Working is very simple, that you have 10,000 square foot, you have constructed 10,000, now you can construct 20,000. So when you go for redevelopment, you have to take a help of a professional. Now who would be that professional? Naturally, a person who has complete knowledge of redevelopment. That we call it as a project management consultant, or an architect who knows about the development control promotion regulation. He works out a viable statement, that is called feasibility report.
Feasibility report.
Feasibility report is the most important document which will tell us ki whether you, when you go for redevelopment, whether you need to, whether you are getting the existing area at least constructed and given you, or existing area plus additional
How
free
much
area
can you build as such
Absolutely.
exactly, and
Yes, how much, what can you, just in a short period, I will tell you what is feasibility report. Feasibility report has got 5 steps. Very first step, work out the total potential for construction, that is a base FSI, TDR, premium FSI. In Mumbai we have fungible FSI, in other than Mumbai we have auxiliary FSI. So that means I get total built up area that is possible. Second, I come for this, how much is the approval cost, how much is the construction cost, how much is my market overhead, how much is the profit that the builder is expecting to get the project. That gives me a project cost, along with the profit, interest, everything of a developer. Let us say 10 crore is my total cost of that. Then I analyze, in order to recover this 10 crore as a total project cost, how much area I need to sell in the open market. Naturally, I will check up with the, the local, what you call, local
market rates.
Market rate. Suppose 10 crore divided by, I am just saying, say 20,000 is the rate. That means I have to sell about 5,000 square foot. And I am going to construct, for example, 20,000 square foot as against 10,000 now in the redevelopment. Correct. So 5,000 I have to sell in the open market at the rate of 20,000 to recover 10 lakhs. So I got now 15,000 square foot left out. That I will be giving to the existing members.
Correct. So each
That
member is actually getting 50% more.
Extra.
So incentivization is,
Absolutely.
so feasibility report will give you how much you can build, what is the cost against that, so that you can work out how to arrange for these finances through selling.
Correct.
And maybe you can also touch upon that, how then it becomes a decision of whether you want to do it yourself or through a developer. That would be a great way to get into that direction.
Yeah. Before that, I would always say that redevelopment is not a substitute for repairs. If your building can be repaired, please look at and go and repair it, because redevelopment has its own inherent risk, one. Secondly, it is a national loss. We also need to be contributing. Debris, this, that, and not so much sustainability issues do come. Having said that, yes, if the building is completely dilapidated, it is unsafe for staying and it cannot be repaired. Naturally, you have no other option but to go for redevelopment. Please go into it. Second, you have taken out the structural audit report. You have analyzed what is the cost to be incurred. Let us say 20 people are there, you have to invest about 1 crore. That means per person you have to pay about 5 lakh rupees. And the retired people cannot contribute. Yes, we understand. Then it is not economically viable. Then take a decision for redevelopment. And then you look at, before going for redevelopment, as I said, look out the feasibility.
Correct.
Am I at least going to get what I am going to surrender to the builder? Or am I getting 10%, 20% extra area? Am I getting corpus? Am I getting rent? And it is worth going for redevelopment. Then think of decision. So decision of taking redevelopment is most important. Now question arises, who will do it? After doing all this preliminary study, you need to take this decision in the general body. You cannot leave it to the managing committee. You have to take in the general body. Second precaution that you
When you
need
say
to
general
take.
body, it means majority consent.
Absolutely,
Or
more than 51%
more than
members should consent. I will give you the process little later, but yes, the most important thing, even if you are going for redevelopment, precautionary measure should be, or prerequisite should be, you should be the owner of the land, the building. If you are not having a conveyance of the land and building, and you want to go for redevelopment, you are just taking huge risk. Because unless until you have a title, how can you appoint third party to get a title in your name and then go for redevelopment? I will tell you, this
Any
is
example?
few stories I will tell you. You will be surprised to know. Housing society, they don't want to spend for 10,000, 20,000 for per flat for getting a conveyance, because they say stamp duty भरना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, वकील के पास कौन जाएगा? We will hire a builder, and they give it to the builder. Builder takes conveyance in his name, and then he does not pay the rent, he does not pay the construction, he does not take up. You have nothing. You have already given a resolution saying that yes, we have allowed you to do the redevelopment and MOU is being done, and you take the conveyance in your name. Yeah, look at what you are doing. You ensure your title. This is very important. You can't completely blankly go and keep faith in the developer. You cannot be helpless like that. You need to be taking informed decision. This is the most important thing one has to
It's a
do.
very important point, that take conveyance in the name of the society before you give it to the developer as a process.
Absolutely. Now let me tell you one more thing. Government has enabled this by way of a deemed conveyance. If your builder is not is available, landowner is not available, they are absconding, you don't know the process, go to the Maharashtra Ownership Land Act, Section 11 talks about what is the document required, and then apply to the DDR. There is a procedure, form number 7 is prescribed, pay 2,000 court fee, get the order from the DDR in 3 to 6 months, and then get it registered and get the title in your name. That is very important. Without title you should not do. So therefore, this is where I am saying, so you had some question to ask. You were
Yeah, so I am saying that once you have made the decision of redevelopment, what are the options and how do you go about doing it?
Correct. Now I was talking about feasibility report. When you are taking a feasibility report, you are appointing a consultant, project management consultant, consists of architect, engineer or advocate, chartered accountant and all. Now having taken the feasibility report, now you have to take two feasibility reports. One feasibility report, if I am doing development myself as a society. So what is that? I get additional area over and above. What is the profit? I will be generating additional area, corpus, rent for my members. If I am giving to the developer, what it happens? But to give you in thumb rule, we say ना, आप मोटा मोटा बताओ ना क्या होता है? So I can tell you, anybody, a developer comes to your project, he comes to make profit. Now you will ask, what is the profit? Naturally, the profit that you would make, same profit he wants. Now what is that profit I am making in the redevelopment? I get corpus, this is a profit for me, I get additional area. This is my profit. Same way, he needs a profit of additional area what you get. You get 30% extra area, he wants 30% extra area to be available for him, which is his profit for 3 years efforts that he is putting. So that means it is 50-50 partnership. Now having said that, if I am going for self-redevelopment, which means now if the builder is giving me 30%, which means I should get 60% extra area. That means double the area. Forget about double area. We have seen where the builder is offering 10% to 12%, in self-redevelopment they have got 30%. Where they are offering 30%, builders in self-redevelopment they have got 50%. So therefore, this is one incentive. I am saying don't go for the incentive. Incentive is not important. Most important is, can you believe that builder? Do you have that trust? Do you have that credential builder is available? Then you go, because if you give it to the builder and if he does not perform, you are getting exposed to the unlimited liability. You are not getting rent, you are not getting house, and over and above, you will have to go to the litigation, appoint an arbitrator or go to the city civil court, high court and get the developer terminated, which means you are spending crores of rupees only on the litigation, and thereafter you have to go for self-development.
Correct.
Instead, I always tell the societies, think of developing yourself, get oriented yourself, and if you are not able to do yourself, go to the developer-led model where developer will do. By that time you have all got oriented, because you are appointing a professional, you are paying him the fees of 2% to 3% of the construction cost as his professional fees. Why not get that benefit? Now, if you appoint a developer and he does not perform and you want to go back to the self-redevelopment, it is a Hercules task. And you are already out of the pocket, out of the house, out of the rent, so many hurdles you get. So therefore, I am suggesting go for the self-redevelopment model. If doesn't work, go to the development, otherwise come back.
Now, you highlighted a few terms, right? For our audience, if you can help us break down those terms, right? And I think these are the most important terms, or how to evaluate a proposal, right? Now, if say for example, and this is happening across societies now, that because of the rush of redevelopment, a lot of developers also trying to offer different proposals, right? Now, how does a society, what are the basic terms around which a society should be benchmarking proposals, right? You highlighted some of those terms already, and if you can explain what those means, rent, corpus, extra area, if you can just highlight and help us understand the benchmarking.
Now, I would say that a feasibility report, when you prepare, that gives you the benchmark, because that is the one which gives you an indication that this is the total built up area, this is the cost construction, in order to recover this is the market prevailing rate, so much has to be sold, what remains is for the society. These are the 4 steps.
Correct.
And then you get a percentage, how much extra area you get, that is the 5th step. Suppose you had 10,000 square foot, now you are getting 12,000 square foot remaining for the members, that means 120% you get, means 20% extra area. After
that is extra area. Yeah.
The rent cannot be compromised, everybody knows market rate. आपको किधर भी नहीं मिलता है मार्केट रेट, आप जैपकी में जाओ, आपको आजू बाजू में डाटा तो आपका है ही है,
Correct.
उसमें से आपको पता चलेगा मार्केट रेट क्या चल रहा है, रेंट क्या चल रहा है. रेंट में तो ब्लैक और व्हाइट तो होता नहीं है.
Correct.
जो भी है, एंड एवरी रेंटल एग्रीमेंट इन महाराष्ट्र मुंबई हैज टू बी रजिस्टर्ड कंपल्सरी, तो आपको तो डाटा तो उधर से मिल ही गया, तो आपको मार्केट रेट से 10% एक्स्ट्रा एवरी बिल्डर ऑफर्स.
And how much time period?
हाँ, that is for the construction period. Normally construction period 2.5 to 3 years होता है, and another 6 months people take grace. तो normal size of the project मान लो 3,000-4,000 square meter का अंदर का है, 3 साल में हो जाता है. If it is a cluster development having more than 6,000 square meter, maybe it takes 4 years, 5 years and all. But we'll restrict
that period is defined
in the development agreement itself.
Yes, and 3 years rent, and you should have plus 10% as a buffer.
Buffer to
that you should be benchmarked.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. एंड अपना एरिया का सब मालूम पड़ता है. जैपकी में आप जाओ, समझो अपना एरिया में कौन सा बिल्डिंग में क्या रेट चल रहा है, सो यू गेट दैट डिटेल. सो द रेंट कैनॉट बी कॉम्प्रोमाइज एंड इट इज ओपन नाउ दैट यू हैव मेड इट ओपन. सेकंड हम लोग आते हैं कॉर्पस. Now corpus and extra area. Now corpus normally, what is corpus? Corpus is in order to, when the retired people are there, when you do the redevelopment, naturally you have to pay extra maintenance, because now there is a firefighting system, there is a parking, then you are getting a lift, then you get various gadgets new like security, housekeeping, बहुत सारा. So clubhouse, so maintenance goes up. and again property tax also goes up because it is based on the capital value system. तो यदि ये मेंटेनेंस कितना बढ़ता है, नॉर्मली इफ आई एम पेइंग 2000 rupees per month, possibly because I am getting extra area and it is a new construction, naturally it can be 5 times. So in order to see that this 8,000 which is coming 4 times, 3 times of the maintenance, how can I recover it? By depositing my certain amount in the form of corpus in the bank. Bank is giving 8%, 9% interest. तो वो मैं देख लूँगा. तो deposit I should be able to get so much deposit, that is called corpus, which will take care of my increased
cost of
maintenance. This is corpus. Corpus is a capital paid out of the project to take care of increased maintenance for the existing members. New members anyhow they are made up their mind, they are youngster like you who are very good income, they can pay EMI, they can pay, but senior citizen like me 60 years and plus, I need a corpus to take care of that, because my pension or my interest of capital is taking care of my livelihood, it cannot take up my, so this is a corpus and this has to be deposited in the bank so that you are taking care of that. Third thing is very rightly you have pointed out, ki extra area. The extra area benchmark is always given by the your feasibility report. But here government has done a very wonderful thing. I really want to compliment government for enabling this redevelopment. Government said nothing doing. 35% extra area has to be given to the existing member.
That is minimum.
Minimum. What is that? That is nothing but your existing area, let us say 500 square foot carpet, add 35% to it. So you get 35% of plus, so that is to be out of not premium, out without any premium. So they are given as it is. And in the self-redevelopment, they are giving another 10% extra if you are going for self-development.
So government is incentivizing कि
Self
करो खुद करो. हाँ.
वो तो है ही है, मैं आता हूँ उसमें बहुत इन anyhow coming to the point, ये आपको जो है गवर्नमेंट ने ही बोला है कि 35% एक्स्ट्रा मिलेगा, मतलब आपको मिलने वाला ही. वैसे अदर देन मुंबई में भी यही है. Otherwise also builders sometime give 40%, 50%, 60% extra area.
So ये competition जो हो रहा है, when do you what is that benchmark number or when do you think overboard हो जा रहा है and things can just go out of hands? क्योंकि we are hearing this that South Bombay में builders are calling society members to hotels, they are doing a lot of mouth watering offers. कहाँ पे वो लाइन है, थिन लाइन, वेयर सोसाइटी मेंबर शुड नो कि यार ये मतलब दिस इज अ डेंजरस टेरिटरी, कुछ ऐसा है बेंचमार्क?
संदीप, मैं आपको एक चीज़ बताऊं. रिसेंटली ए सोसाइटी केम टू मी, अराउंड 100 मेंबर्स सोसाइटी इन अंधेरी वेस्ट. ए बिल्डर इन अहमदाबाद वांटेड ए फुटप्रिंट इन मुंबई. Naturally, he is a renowned builder. He said, I want to start in Mumbai. I am done in Ahmedabad and now redevelopment is happening. I got enough money. Let me. He came, offered to the society, भाई मैं आपको ऑफर देता हूँ. ऑफर तो ठीक है, मैं डिस्कस करूँगा. वो बोला कि इवन बिफोर सिलेक्शन मेरा क्या अस्तित्व है अहमदाबाद में, आप आ जाओ.
सबको बुलाया?
सबको बुलाया. सबको बुलाया. बोला कि 2 दिन 3 दिन आप अहमदाबाद घूमो, आपको पूरा आने जाने का पूरा खर्चा. तो उन्होंने फ्लाइट का टिकट बुक किया मुंबई टू अहमदाबाद. अराउंड 100 पीपल में से 80 पीपल वेंट देयर. दे एंजॉयड 2 days स्टे देयर एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ द बिल्डर. एंड उसने सब अपना प्रोजेक्ट दिखाया, रिटर्न आए. कहने का मतलब यू कैन इमेजिन पर पर्सन ही मस्ट हैव स्पेंड नॉट लेस देन 50,000 रुपीज स्टेइंग फॉर 2 days देयर. खाना पीना घूमना शहर और अहमदाबाद घुमाया. लोग बोला कि चलो बिल्डर का खर्च मौज मस्ती करो, जैसे 5 स्टार होटल आपने जो बोला, ये तो कुछ नहीं है.
We are getting to this level now.
Okay, coming to the next point, very important, how you benchmark. See what happens, as Mahatma Gandhi said, there is enough for the need, but one cannot be greed. The moment greed takes over the need, then you are suicidal.
Correct.
Now, when we talk about selection of the developer, the society invites the offer, tender, and then they see, they don't look at the credentials of builder, they don't look anything. बोलते कौन सा बिल्डर कितना दे रहा है, ये बिल्डर 35% दे रहा है, ये कितना दे रहा है 40, ये कितना दे रहा है 60 दे रहा है, चलो 60 वाले को बुलाओ और कितना एडिशनल देता है देखो. You look at him and that's one who is giving 60%, he is not at all done any redevelopment, but he is a professional architect or a engineer or some contractor who wants to become a builder,
Developer, yeah.
and he says, I am ready to give 60%, I can make it 65. Others are giving 35, 30. And feasibility report talks about 30%, cannot be more. But he is giving more than double of the feasibility. Now members say, okay, 65 आप दे रहे हो, yes, we will agree with you. Now when we ask him why you are giving this much, बोलते मुझे आपसे प्रॉफिट करना नहीं, मेरा बैंडविड्थ करना है, मैं शुरुआत करता हूँ,
ब्रांड बनाना है,
मेरे को ब्रांड बनाना है, मुझे आपको बिल्डर बनना है और मैं पूरा आपको करके दूंगा. भाई आपका फ्लैट, आपका मकान, आपका चीज दूसरे को तजुर्बा के लिए आप देना चाहते हो, इसके लिए तजुर्बा, वो तजुर्बा में फेल हो गया, उसका कोई ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड नहीं है और उसको आप अपना पूरा का पूरा घर आपका डैडी ने या ग्रैंडफादर ने बनाया होगा मुंबई में, वो आप देते हो. This is the pathetic condition, and therefore you will see in the press more than 5,800 projects are stalled. They are out of the house because the greed is taking over the need. And what can be feasible? So therefore the benchmark is, if somebody is giving a feasibility report who is an independent architect whom you have assessed, and if somebody is giving more than 10% of what has been prescribed in the feasibility report, I think you should not go to that developer, because if somebody is not able to make an income in your project, then how he will perform it? Correct. He will not.
Very, very good point.
This is one.
So feasibility report actually is what
It's a
defines the
benchmark.
need.
It's a benchmark.
Right? Need हो गया है, अब इसके ऊपर जितना जाओगे वो greed level बढ़ता जाएगा and your risk just
मैं
multiplies.
लोगों का greed इतना देखता हूँ. I'm really sorry to say that housing societies, they don't want to spend money. They will go to the architect or engineer who will give them feasibility report free of cost, and their money will be paid by the developer.
Oh,
now how you expect them to have to independence?
correct.
I have seen so many people, going to the,
Generally, if I can ask you, what is the cost of engaging a project management consultant to give a feasibility report, so that our lot of societies who are probably evaluating know that this is a cost that you should incur?
No, it all depends on it is ultimately a professional. So anywhere between 25,000 to 50,000 is a normal project size of around 2,000 square meter. And if you are asking for 2 feasibility report, because normally we tell them to take 2 feasibility
independent,
report.
right? So that you can benchmark.
No, not 2 independent तो हो गया. 2 feasibility report saying that one for self-redevelopment, one for.
Oh, understood.
So that you also able to understand where the builder is making profit, whether he is making profit or not making profit. So you understand the gimmick, one. So there they may be 25,000 एक 1,000 स्क्वायर मीटर के लिए करता है, तो both the project के लिए वो 40,000 ले सकता है, या 2,000 स्क्वायर मीटर 50,000 लिया तो इधर 80,000 ले सकता है. But this is worth spending.
Understood. Very good. This is a good
This is
benchmarking
normal.
number so that people can
Yeah. Now
use it.
there are so many, I said, PMCs and all. आप हमको feasibility report free में करके दो, हम आपको appoint करेंगे. Yeah. And one more thing, very interesting. When before appointing a PMC, project management consultant, these societies go and tell, आप मुझे ये project है, ये है, कितना builder से दिलाओगे? आपके पास कौन सा builder है बताओ. मतलब you want to understand from the PMC, can you provide the builder, कौन सा builder है, और आप कितना, जो ज़्यादा दिलाएगा उसको PMC करके अपॉइंट करता है. Don't you think he is an independent
Wrong
PMC?
incentivization.
No. So he becomes a sponsored PMC of selected 5 to 10 developers. If you ask me, I'll say don't go to the PMC who says that these are my builders. Don't go. And these are the builders who will bid for you. No. I would say look at the platform where you get independent PMCs, understand them, and then through the process let the builder come.
Understood.
Now you are asking one more question, which sorry, my answers are a little long.
No problem.
But let me come to the, people should select the builder first, then go to the financial offer. Because now you may say, how to select the builder, Baba? आप बोलते builder पहला select करो और फिर offer बाद में लो. What happens when you rake out a tender? We say that prepare 3 envelopes. First envelope, earnest money, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, whatever is the size of the project. So if he is serious, he will put that demand draft. So those who have given the demand draft in the first envelope, open his second envelope. Second envelope is nothing but a technical details about his past project done, how many project he has completed, what is his turnover, what is his financial, how the various testimony he has, awards he has, and project completed. And the third is the financial offer. This financial offer you should not open till you finalize the developer. How it is happening? First, अर्नेस्ट मनी है तो उसका सेकंड एनवलप ओपन करो, मतलब मान लो 10 आया, उसमें 2 लोगों ने अर्नेस्ट मनी नहीं दिया, उसका हटा दो,
करेक्ट.
कितना भी अच्छा बिल्डर हो, दैट मीन्स ही इज नॉट सीरियसली बिडिंग, जाने दो उसका सेकंड एंड थर्ड मत ही देखो. नाउ कम टू द 8 में आपने देखा 8 डेवलपर का फिर कंपैरिजन किया, आपने कुछ नेट ओन फंड कितना है, फाइनेंशियल क्या है, कितना प्रोजेक्ट रेरा प्रोजेक्ट किया, उसने कितना टाइम में क्या किया, हर एक को एक मार्क, विच मार्क्स विल बी डिसाइडेड बाय द पीएमसी कि इवैल्यूएशन करो, उसका प्रोजेक्ट में जाके देखो, उसका कस्टमर से वेरीफाई करो. एक बार आपने वेरीफाई किया, सब कुछ हो गया. नाउ आउट ऑफ 8 डेवलपर्स यू हैव सिलेक्टेड 5. 3 को आपने उधर ही डिस्कार्ड किया. क्यों? आपने उधर गया, जाते टाइम वो बस में लेके गया, छोड़ते टाइम बोला कि आप रिक्शा में जाओ. कई बार हमने देखा है.
करेक्ट.
तो फिर ऐसे सब होता है. और आपने उधर गया तो बोला कि ये मेरा भाई ने बनाया, ये मेरा चाचा ने बनाया. यार तूने क्या बनाया? नहीं नहीं, मैं तो उसका कॉन्ट्रैक्टर था, अभी मेरे को नया बनाना है, तो उसको डिस्कार्ड करो ना.
करेक्ट.
So look at this, then you have got 5, now you know 5 builders are equal, then those 5 envelope you open and then see what is what.
Understood.
Then you go for negotiation,
very good.
working. So select the developer, and many society I tell them call for the expression of interest, verify the builder, 25-30 आ गया, उसका शॉर्टलिस्ट करो, फिर आप फाइनेंशियल बिड उन्हीं से
पर लास्ट स्टेप होना चाहिए. वंस यू हैव सेलेक्टेड द बिल्डर्स दैट यू आर,
these are the builders with whom I can go.
कंफर्ट है. हाँ.
Then you take financial bid from them.
Very good insights, Ramesh ji. Now I wanted to understand कि that we have an offer that you helped us benchmark and evaluate. From now this process, now you actually start the process, right? So you've selected, you've gone through why, how, and you've reached this stage. Now what are the steps that you should be following where think you are basically taking all the precautions again, right? Because while we were discussing, when we started before that, you said, right, जब तक तुम घर में हो, you are the king.
Absolutely.
एक बार developer आ गया तो वो king.
You are at their mercy.
Can you just now go deeper into this? What all should we be doing as a housing society, that once it is starting, what all things should be on paper?
See, once you have selected the developer, take the finally negotiated term sheet. Get that approved in the general body. Once you approve in the general body, naturally you issue him a letter of intent, and having issued a letter of intent, you put all the terms and conditions, or you can enter into an MOU also, no problem. Once you enter into an MOU, ask him to give the plan and how he is going to do, or how planning and all will happen. Then you can enter into DA. DA is the most important crucial document.
What is DA?
Development agreement.
Okay.
Development agreement talks about various terms and conditions of the development. What is the land title? What are the representation of the society? How the society has got the title, and then what is the builders, how much he is going to construct, which regulation he is going to use, and out of that how much free area he is going to give, corpus he is going to give, rent he is going to give, all that get recorded, captured. And then if there is an additional FSI which arises after the building is demolished, how it will be distributed. So all this, and the timeline. So ultimately timeline, and what are the commercial taxes who will pay, how it will be paid, when the notice will be issued for vacation, what are the bank guarantees that he is going to give, how he will ensure, how the customers, existing members will get comfort in vacating the premises, and what are the formalities he will complete. And then at the time of repossession, how he will get the OC, what are the various amenities he is giving within the flat, what he is giving, outside the flat what he is giving. All this getting captured in the development agreement, which gives you the obligation, timeline, and the accountability and responsibility.
This is the most important document.
It is a Bible.
It
is the one which drives the entire redevelopment. Now, the DA cannot be vague. Now, I will tell you a few examples where societies have burnt their finger. Now, in the DA, when you are going for compromising, वो बोलता है कि हमारा सोसाइटी का वकील को हमने पूछा, वो तो 3 लाख रुपए ले रहा है, सोसाइटी के पास पैसा है ही नहीं है, तो मैं क्या करूं? बिल्डर को बोलता है यार तेरा ही वकील दे दो, अच्छा वकील दे दो, हो गया। कुछ बिल्डर बोलते हैं पीएम से अपॉइंट करो मत। मैंने एक सिचुएशन देखा, हमारा ही सिचुएशन, वी हैव ए प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टेंसी इन ए माडा बिल्डिंग विच ऑलरेडी वाज इन Malad, it had gone in the stall project. They engaged us. We entered into a feasibility report. सब दे दिया उनको। देने के बाद हमने बोला कि बिल्डर को आपको 38-40% वो दे सकता है और बिल्डर 5 लाख रुपए आपको कॉर्पस दे सकता है, बट मुझे आप अपॉइंट करो, मेरा फीस जो है 25 से 30 लाख रुपए आ रहा था, 2% ऑफ द कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉस्ट। यू आर आस्किंग मी व्हाट इज द फिजिबिलिटी रिपोर्ट, बट मॉनिटरिंग का भी है ना, 2% is the construction cost. पूरा प्रोजेक्ट का 2%, many people quote 3% of the construction cost. That means 5,000 रुपए construction cost है तो 50 rupees per square foot is the PMC cost. This comes out of the project cost. The third point in DA that we should look into, कि what are the obligations, especially when the these allottees need to, rather existing members to need to vacate. What are the precautionary measures that is normally be included in the DA? First and foremost, the DA, once the letter of allotment comes, letter of approval or IOD, what we talk about, immediately in the DA it should be mentioned that the developer will complete all the IOD conditions or letter of approval condition, like soil testing, then various compliances that it need to be done, various NOCs. So all that you do, then only one NOC remains, that is about demolition of the building. Only one condition to get a commencement certificate is demolition of the building. That means you need to load the entire TDR, you need to get the approval for the this one, what you call approval for the balance construction, not only of your area, even to the sale area, so that your CC for all that TDR loading, premium loading, everything is done. What happens is the larger investment of the builder comes there. Then if you have got rent, you see that 1 year or 2 year rent is taken in advance. Then bank guarantee. Normally people say 20% of the project cost has to be bank guarantee. I would differ there. Ki one can take bank guarantee of at least the rehab portion, whatever till the rehab portion, whatever the construction, say 4,000 to 5,000 rupees per square foot. So rehab portion is coming at least say 6 story. Up to 6 story, how much construction cost is required? That much at least you take a bank guarantee construction, because by that time you have got all the approval, and without approval you are not vacating. So at least that bank guarantee, 20% of the project cost means it becomes a huge. If it is up to 6 story, 7 story, where the existing member has to be reoccupied, 5,000 rupees per square foot multiplied by the area of built up gets you some amount of 5 crore, 10 crore, 6 crore, depending on the size of the project. You take bank guarantee. And
bank guarantees is largely again for the worst case if things go wrong.
Absolutely, it's like an insurance.
Insurance, good point.
It's like insurance. Then what happens? You are going for releasing the bank guarantee, because ultimately when you take a bank guarantee, a lot of money has to be deposited in the bank. We don't want the my partner to be squeezed out of money. Crisis should not be there. So once he completes the print, give him 20% of bank guarantee, release it. Another 5 story up to 2 story has come, release another 20%. 20% you keep it till the OC of the last, so that he is aware. So if suppose 6 crore is there, so at least 1 crore or 2 crore you retain for the purpose of OC. So this way you put. Then they have to give the notice period for vacating. Once the LOA comes, he says that within 60 days notice period has to be given, because you need to get into the alternative accommodation, you need to look at the various places, because rent is everything crystallized. So you get the corpus or deposit for paying to the tenanted premises, you get about 6 months or 1 year rent also in advance, or 2 years, whatever is the that money you get, so that you can hire. So 60 days you get. Within these 60 days, because your approval has come, you have to get your permanent alternative accommodation registered. Many times,
can you deep dive into this?
Many times developer says, आपको घाई क्या है? मी PAAA आहे ना, ते तुम्हाला नंतर करून देतो. म्हणजे काय कि I will do it is afterwards. देखो आपको मेरे ऊपर ट्रस्ट है, DA में आपका फ्लैट लिखा है, सब कुछ लिखा है, मैं आपका परमानेंट ऑल्टरनेटिव एकोमोडेशन एग्रीमेंट है ना, वो जब आपको पोजीशन दूंगा ना, उस टाइम में मैं करूंगा. भाई नथिंग डूइंग. मैं घर खाली करने के पहले मुझे मालूम पड़ना चाहिए मुझे कौन सा फ्लैट मिलने वाला है, कौन सा फ्लोर में मिलने वाला है. यदि मुझे वो एश्योरेंस नहीं है,
almost like registration of your
absolutely
new property
against the old property. And there were a lot of debate and discussion whether it is required or not required. Now let me tell you, High Courts and Supreme Court have now confirmed. Earlier, a lot of solicitors and the law firms were saying, you are an existing member, it is captured in the DA, why you want a permanent alternate accommodation? So this way you have to pay the stamp duty, registration, everything. Now the High Court has come out heavily on the stamp duty department, saying that in the DA, once it is mentioned that against flat number 101 of the first floor of the old flat, 500 square foot, now they are getting 600 square foot on the fifth floor, 501. Okay. Now it is covered, stamp duty is already paid. You are now entering into supplementary deed. It is called incidental agreement, on which it will be 100 rupees. So the High Courts have come, you have to register it and you have to pay only 100 rupees. And 1000 is the registration fee, which means nothing to be done. For 1500 rupees or
nobody will
so
delay that.
delay it. You have to do it. But earlier developer used to say that नहीं construction cost में stamp duty आएगा, हमें तकलीफ होगा, आपको आने में तकलीफ होगा. By nothing doing, without vacating, we will not do. So this has also been
So you have to vacate only once your PAAA
is registered. Now, what is the benefit of that? Your flats are known, floors are known, plans are approved, everything gets crystal clear. Tomorrow if it does not do it, you know which is my flat. Otherwise you will be in trouble.
So, Ramesh, you highlighted the various clauses that development agreement takes into account and the protections that
One more thing, last, there has to be redressal mechanism which is captured in the DA. Suppose anything goes wrong, what will be the redressal mechanism? Shall I go to conciliation forum of RERA or should I take a mediation act of 2023 where there are institutional mediator and then shall I go for arbitration or should I go for civil suit? Should I go for the High Court? What is the remedy? Or should I go to consumer court? That can be captured in DA so that the DA being a entire master document, prevention, regulation, and in the regulatory part, I was just monitoring. The society should be able to appoint one CA for quarterly auditing of the builder's account, then reporting of that to the society, and engineer, architect and the society's consultant PMC should be having once in quarter at least a meeting to look at the upgraded things, and they should have a website where this can be monitored properly.
So when you're saying all of this, it is bringing to my mind that a lot of these things are also part of RERA, right? That RERA mein when the developer is starting this project, which has to be now sold to new people also, because the extra area that he's going to get, he's also going to sell it, right, as for profits. Now, when it is registered in RERA, a lot of these activities are already happening. So does this mean that RERA also gives a lot of protection to the members who participated in this redevelopment?
See, let us understand what is RERA. RERA is nothing but protecting the consumers, end consumer, from the sale portion. And it is a transactionally, relation between the promoter, that is a promoter means who? Landowner, that is a society, is a landowner.
Oh, understood.
And the builder, both of them have come together as a landowner promoter and the builder promoter. They have come together, joined hands. Both of them are now accountable and responsible to the end consumer. Okay.
So actually the society members are now accountable?
Absolutely. I will give you a classic case. You will be happy or rather, I don't know, unhappy to know. Goregaon Pearl is a cooperative housing society which had gone for redevelopment. 12 years passed, developer did not perform. 2 towers he was supposed to construct. 1 tower, A tower, up to 30 flats, about 7th story, that was for existing members. B tower also 30 flats for the existing member. Remaining upper floor, about 21 floor, both the tower, he sold in the open market 72 flats to the open people. He collected more than 1.5 crore from each one of them, but unfortunately he did not do a B tower, A tower at all. B tower he constructed only RCC, nothing beyond. 12 years passed. And he then asked the society, if I want to complete it, you give me an NOC to merge with another. Society said, what nonsense. You want to merge with others and again get FSI and then you are already put us trouble for last 12 years. So they terminated. It got approved from the arbitrator also, and High Court and Supreme Court confirmed the termination. Now the consumers were put in high and dry. They tried with RERA, RERA did not give relief, went to appellate tribunal, they did not give, they went to High Court, they did not get a relief. Consumer,
New
purchaser.
new home buyers.
They did not get a relief. They went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court also did not give a relief to the consumer. Then what happened? Two consumers called Sandeep Grover and one more his friend went to National Commission of Consumer Protection Act. That is under National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. They went, they filed a complaint against the society and the promoter saying that 1.5 crore is paid by us, we too paid 3 crores. Now builder is behind the bar, he is not doing, society has taken over the project, they are doing self-redevelopment. Now where we will go? Our agreement is registered, that has been terminated and our flats are being allotted to the existing members. So this is uncalled for. And they said, society said, when the DA was made, we said it is principal to principal. If the builder has created any responsibility, that is none of ours, it is the builder and the consumer. So we are not partners in that project and it is one-to-one. The National Commission asked a very simple question. Did you enter into DA? Yes. Did you give a power of attorney? Yes. Now have you allowed them to sell? Yes. Open sale. But they said after allowing them to sell, the second clause that we put is we will not be responsible for the sale. We have allowed them to sell, but we are not responsible. National Commission said, what nonsense. You are allowing somebody in the one clause and second clause you are saying you are not responsible. How can be a contrary clause in the same? They said no, we will discard the second clause saying that it is wide ab initio and we will uphold the first, and now that you are allowed the builder to sell and recover the money and appropriate, even if you have not received the money, you being a principal and the builder being an agent, you are held responsible. Now pay 1.5 crore plus interest of 12 years. That means another 1.5 crore, 3 crore was asked to be paid within how many days? 3 months. These people went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court heard, said you settle the matter. Society said no, we have run into 2 rounds of this one. So, consumer also went, Supreme Court confirmed the termination and they said consumer do not have the right. Second round, builder terminated, that also compelled by the Supreme Court. Now this is the third round going to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said you settle it. They did not hear. Supreme Court after 15 days said you are not settled, I will confirm the National Commission order. What they have interfered is correct. Now what happened is there are 72. 2 had done, 70 people have now formed an authority. Now they have gone to the National Commission as a class suit, and now I 100% sure Supreme Court and the National Commission will ask the society to pay about 70 people plus 3 crore, interest 9%. And this Supreme Court having confirmed, now people have to pay. Otherwise the auction, the society will be auctioned. The office bearer will be put behind the bar.
And this case becomes a
landmark
for every.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So therefore, you are getting exposed if you are not selecting the proper developer. So this case, I will request you to put it in the description. I will share with you. Put it in the description.
Absolutely.
This will be a great, learning.
Great case study for most societies that you are now under. In fact, you are a co-promoter.
Absolutely.
So whatever is getting sold, you are actually a partner and liable for that.
Absolutely. So therefore, one has to be very careful when I am saying self-redevelopment. Don't go for the self-redevelopment.
You are promoting and in support of self-redevelopment. What is the benefit, right? Because I feel that there are challenges around selling the extra portion. But I also know that there are professionals out in the market who can do all of that. So can you just throw light on why you are a strong proponent of self-redevelopment?
See, what I am saying is, I just remember my own marriage story. Just 1 minute. Today, if somebody has to do the marriage, they will go to 5-star hotel or in the banquet hall, put per member this much, or destination marriage, spend crores of rupees, and they enjoy. Whereas in my case of marriage, we did in a home, in a Samiana, 8 days, 10 days people come, we get the, cook, Maharaj, give everything, and the enjoyment is different, and the cost is so less, the enjoyment is so good, taste, and we are preparing for ourselves. Look at the celebration, look at the way you get, and the quality. When you go for the 5-star hotel, one is per plate you are paying 5,000, per plate you are paying 5,000, and the cost is huge, everything is wastage and no satisfaction. So therefore, I am saying when you are going for a self-redevelopment, because I am the person, not to boost myself, promoting housing society development. I used to go to Indian Overseas Bank. I used to go to Syndicate Bank. I used to go to NABARD. I used to go to RBI, Income Tax Department, in the canteen, asking people to come together, form a housing society, collect the land, pay 20%, get the land booked in your name, then go to the financial institution for getting the loan or from the employer to loan, and appoint a contractor, eliminate every middleman, then do your own flat. And the first housing society was found in the year 1915, where I was not born also. But that is still standing there. 110 years, Saraswat Cooperating Society at Girgaon is standing today, even after 110 years. Look at the quality, look at the housing, look at the. This is what I want. So people should be able to develop their own skill. They should be able to develop themselves and eliminate the middlemen, so that unwanted risk is eliminated. Now, having said that, yes, you said what are the challenges. The first foremost is change of mindset. If I tell them, आप महाराज को बुलाओ, material ले लो, घर में शादी करो, लोग will not, because mindset has changed. Joint family, I know very good, but are we in a position to go for a joint family? No, now today is a nuclear family. Change, positions have changed. Anyhow, so the first and foremost is about, when we are going for the redevelopment, you have to look at whether, if we do, what are the benefits are coming, how we can do it, look at the feasibility, get the things. The first and foremost challenge is the committees are not interested to take the responsibility. You have to change the mindset. Second, your members are not ready. They are asking guarantee from the managing committee as if they are doing some profit oriented. No, that is another. Third is approval. Where is approval? See, the builder is like a conductor. He is managing everybody. Okay, and he manages such a big planning, authority, contractor, then funding, sales, construction. This, you don't have that bandwidth. So that is another thing. Fourth thing is fund. Fifth is sales. So when you look at all this, so it has to be a professional body. Therefore, they have to either go to a development manager or they have to go for the builder who will do it. So this is one. Now, in order to mitigate this, the first thing is for the bringing consensus. Maybe you will have to go for the development manager, where you will appoint an implementing agency with certain fees, so he will do. Then you hire a very good project management consultant, you get a person who gets the approvals, you appoint a very good contractor, you get the funding approved from the Mumbai bank and other bank, and then you go for the completion, appoint the broker, get the pre-sales done, go ahead with all these things. So it is much easier to do, because now everything is available, as you rightly pointed out, professional.
Professionals are there and you
Absolutely.
can take help to do this. It is possible.
Absolutely.
Have you seen some successful case studies also?
There are more than 25 to 30 buildings which have got, and they have, as against 300 square foot, they have got 1200 square foot, built up area after the redevelopment. So there are many case laws and case studies, more than 25. The people are asking me a very simple question like you. Sir, tell me how many redevelopment has happened? I said 10,000. Okay. Out of which how much is self-redevelopment? 25. That means 975 is your builder-led. Why? Because people are more comfortable there. Therefore, government, in order to encourage self-redevelopment, on 13th September 2019, I have come out with the GR with 20 pointer. I will give you some of the incentives. You get additional 10% area on your existing area, over and above fungible FSI, which is free of cost 35% if you are going for self-development. Secondly, you get 4% interest subsidy. Third is the premium that you have to pay, you will get the installment for next 4 to 5 years, and you don't have to pay interest to the MCGM. Fourth is land under construction, premium, whatever you have to pay, less 10% will be reduced. If the builder is charged 100 rupees, you will be charged only 90 rupees, and that too you pay in installment. Then land under construction will not be there, and the approval will have a single window clearance. There will be a regulatory authority who will monitor the project. There is a builders and the contractor empanelment which will happen. PMCs will be empaneled, grievances cell is created, and all these additional benefits are given. The TDR you don't have to buy in the market, you buy at the 50% of the ready reckoner value. These are the incentives available which is getting implemented. So, and I think one should explore self-redevelopment.
So Ramesh, in redevelopment now, self-redevelopment, you highlighted a lot of benefits that the government is giving. But stepping back, given that majority still are builder-led, what are the challenges or reasons for which projects get stalled, and what can the members do?
See, when you start compromising with the given standard process and system and policies, what is the standard process policy system? Bringing transparency, selecting the developer in the right perspective. There is a section 79A direction which is issued by the Maharashtra government under the Maharashtra Cooperative Society Act, giving the stepwise process policies and how you have to choose the PMC, how you should select the developer, what is the conditions in the DA to be incorporated, what PEAA has to be done, all this. And if you are following that, still there will be some disgruntled members who have their own self interest which is stalling the project, but that need to be done. But people do not do that. That is the first thing. They compromise with the appointment of the advocate, they compromise with the appointment of PMC, they compromise with the appointment of the developer. Here what is happening is, very sorry to say, at least 30 to 40% of the housing society still want to go to the developer, compromise with them in advance, which I would call it as a corrupt practices. It is not prevailing because housing society is also a democratic setup where elected representatives also look at for some pie in the entire game, and they also see that can I get 50 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs, under the table from the. I am making this very open statement because this corrupt practice is allowing them to compromise. And once they compromise with the developer, how you expect them to deal with the developer when they does not perform? This is where the matter is. So one has to be very careful, and the society's committees are not getting selected or elected in a proper manner. They should get elected in a proper manner. You should appoint an independent architect, engineer and all, which they are not doing. That becomes a challenge. And next is, some members do not vacate. Builders have invested crores of rupees. Somebody is not vacating. I have to go to the High Court to get him vacated.
So extends everything.
Extend everything. Then change of business policies of the government, whether it's the environment, whether it's the eco-science issue, change of government policy also comes in the way. Then you have agreed in the DA that you will get a bank guarantee, but when you are entering into DA, because you are now compromised or known something, you compromise with the terms of the DA or tender condition, you dilute so many conditions, and when you have the advocates meeting, these conditions are a lot of time diluted. Something are not captured. These are the some of the pitfalls because of which project gets stalled, and you don't flag, you don't monitor, because you say that यार PMC मैं अपॉइंट करता हूँ, मॉनिटर करता हूँ, मुझे 2% कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉस्ट में देना है, मैं मेरा कॉर्पस से क्यों दूँ? यार आप समझ नहीं रहे हो कि आपका घर उसमें है, नहीं वो PMC वो बिल्डर के साथ मिलेगा करेगा, मतलब if you don't keep a trust and faith in the proper person, how you will see? These are some of the challenges. And of course market does not happen, builders are not getting funding, they are looking for investors, sales sometimes does not take place. Correct. And therefore how the project stalls, I will tell you. Builder does not plan anything. He thinks that gut feeling I can do, and based on gut feeling the society also gives him. Once it is given, he starts courting the investors. Investors नहीं मिलता है, फिर भी कुछ इन्वेस्टर मिला, वो बिल्डिंग तोड़ देता है. बिल्डिंग तोड़ने के बाद सेल होना चाहिए, सेल नहीं होता है. रेरा में रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं होता है, अप्रूवल नहीं मिलता है, तो ऑल दिस ट्रबल स्टार्ट्स. एंड इवन इफ द सेलेबल नहीं मिलता है तो ही टेक्स द बैंक लोन. बैंक लोन मिलता है, इंटरेस्ट देना पड़ता है, तो हिज फिजिबिलिटी गेट्स टू द टॉस. सो देयरफॉर there are many elements of the challenges, but how can this mitigated? One has to be very careful, prepare a proper policy statement, how it can be worked out, and select the A grade builder who has got a RERA register, who has completed and all that. Then things can be so very good. Now we have recommended to the government that I am a part of the Maharashtra government, where there is a advisory committee has been set up by Ministry of Housing and Maharashtra government, where one Mr. Rajendra Mirgane is the chairman. He has started taking various input, and we have recommended to the government that in order to take all these challenges, one has to go to the court and other things in order to regulate the A class builder, B class builder, C class builder, PMC, monitoring, all this. The way RERA is doing, prior to RERA registration, can we have an independent regulatory authority? Can we do that? Because Nirmala Sitharaman in her budget speech, for the first time she said, redevelopment is happening and we need to have one consolidated comprehensive legal system, and on that Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has already appointed a research agency. The delegate had come about 2 days back in Mumbai. They are taking feedback from various agencies including RERA, MARERA, and they are recommending to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs what type of comprehensive legal system can be brought in which is applicable the way RERA is applicable across India. Can we have a consolidated, because now Ahmedabad is happening, Bangalore is happening, Delhi is happening,
Correct. We are hearing
various
this.
parts of India, the major city like Chennai, Kolkata, where old cities are coming up for the redevelopment.
Old buildings are coming up, yeah.
And therefore a comprehensive legal system is getting enacted. I think that is a way forward that government should listen, and I think only after doing that possibly we can have a lot of regulatory
So that there
system
is, so there is, government has incentivized and created a whole, in the whole discussion I learned that a lot of incentive systems were created to promote redevelopment.
Absolutely.
Now with a legal framework or a regulatory body looking at it almost like RERA or maybe RERA itself, will make sure that there is a next level of growth coming into the redevelopment.
Bilkul.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Ramesh,
Sandeep,
for spending time with us, and I think this would help a lot of our viewers who are exploring redevelopment for their own societies to understand what they should be doing or not doing.
Now
Thank you so much.
can I give you one small suggestion, because Zapkey is talking about capturing various benefits of rates, this that. The DA agreements are getting registered. If it is possible, can you download that and get the capturing as to this is the area, these are the things which is available. That may be a benchmark for the nearby people.
So such a brilliant business idea also that you're suggesting. Thank you so much for that.
Chalo, thank you.
We will definitely
explore
it.
and that can give a lot of insights for the people who are
Maybe with
looking
this
for some
episode
data.
we will release at least 10 data points around this
Absolutely.
for some societies. Thank you so much.
Chalo, thank you. Thank you, Sandeep.